What's good, everybody? Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate the love and support. Now, I wanted to come down here real quick to talk about the Jay-Z, Diddy, and the 13-year-old accuser from the VMA after party. Okay. Now, I don't want to say I told you so or anything like that, because I think that sexual assault is a very serious matter. But I think that it is also important to acknowledge that false accusations against innocent people are equally harmful. Okay. Now, on last Sunday, an amended lawsuit was filed updating the previous lawsuit that was filed in October. Now, in the amended lawsuit, it now named Jay-Z alongside Diddy, accusing him of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl at a VMA after party in 2000. Now, when the lawsuit came out, Jay-Z called the lawsuit a money grab, claiming that Tony Buzzbee attempted to blackmail him into settling, and he vowed that Tony Buzzbee would not receive a single dime from him. Okay. Jay-Z's team went into action, filing paperwork requesting that the accuser be revealed. Well, Friday, an interview aired on NBC, which the accuser sat down with Chloe Mealis, and as the interview unfolded, the whole case began to unravel from there. Now, I was finally able to sit down and watch the interview, and I just got some thoughts about it. Okay. So the accuser, who is now 38 years old, is an autistic white woman who requested that her identity be kept confidential, And I remember when the lawsuit was filed, even when some of the cases with Diddy, I was always skeptical of people filing a lawsuit anonymously, because I know that people don't want to victim shame or do anything like that, but we at least have to see if the person making an accusation is in the right state of mind. Because no shade, the person filing the lawsuit could be Jaguar Wright.
My son, they're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead.
You know what I'm saying? Or they just could be somebody who is not all the way there. So, and I've heard people go online and be like, y'all are defending Jay-Z, y'all are defending this person, y'all are defending that person, y'all don't really know that person. But it's like people are defending an accuser, and they have no idea who they are. They don't know what race they are, creed they are. They don't know anything about them. They don't know their mental history. They don't know anything about them. All they know is that they made an accusation, and they saying, yeah, I believe them. Okay. So now, since NBC aired the interview on their platform, they could be held liable for a lawsuit if they didn't uphold journalistic integrity and follow up on the claims made by the accuser. So before the accuser could fully share her story, NBC revealed that they had found inconsistencies in her statement. Okay. Now, the accuser said that she attended the VMAs in hopes of getting a glimpse of her favorite celebrities. Okay. So Chloe, the interviewer, she asked her, was she scared? Okay. And so the girl said, no, having autism, it feels like you're in a gerbil ball. The world is on fire and you're inside the ball with fire inside the ball. And, as she was talking and she was saying it, the camera, so she's there anonymously. We can't see who she is or anything like that, but they're showing like her body, but they kind of got the vision blurred. And as she was explaining this analogy about the world being on fire and she's inside of a gerbil ball and there's fire inside of the ball, the camera kept zooming in. I was like, girl, what?
It's okay.
And it was at that point, because sometimes I gotta, what am I hearing? But when they did that, I was thinking to myself, ain't no way this lawsuit should have been filed. Okay. There's absolutely no way this lawsuit should have been filed. Okay. Now, she said that her friend drove her from Rochester to New York, and that was a 5-hour drive. NBC reached out to her lawyer, and they said that her lawyer Buzzbee gave them the name of the friend who drove her there, and the friend has died. Okay, which is not a big deal. People pass away every day. Okay, she said that she spoke with Diddy's limo driver, and Diddy's limo driver told her that she was exactly what Diddy was looking for. Okay, Chloe asked her, "What did you take that to mean?" And you can tell that the way that Chloe was talking to her, Chloe was treating her with kid gloves. She wasn't really giving it to her. Chloe was just trying to make her comfortable enough to tell her story. The girl said that she thought that it meant that she was pretty. Okay. She said that she went to a White House. She spoke to Benji Madden and Joel Madden from Good Charlotte. Okay. Now, the representatives of the Maddens confirmed that they didn't attend the VMAs that year, that they was actually on tour in the Midwest at the time. So there is no way that she was at an after party and spoke to those two. There's absolutely no way. Okay. She said that she had a drink. She felt woozy. And she said that Diddy and Jay-Z took turns graping her, and an unnamed female celebrity watched. Okay. She said that she fought Jay-Z off. She ran to a gas station and she called her father. She said that her father picked her up, took her home. They rode home in silence, and he didn't ask her what happened, what she did, or who was there. And when she said that, and I tell y'all all the time, sometimes if you let people talk long enough, they'll tell a lie. Because what they'll do is they'll over explain. You know what I'm saying? So when she's saying, she said, he took me home. We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened, what I did, or who was there, or all of these things that she was saying that he didn't ask her. I'm like, well, why is she saying all that? You know what I'm saying? Because she knew that her dad was not going to corroborate her story. So NBC did an interview with the dad. The dad said that he could not verify the claims. He feel like he would remember something like that, and he doesn't. He said he got a lot going on, but if that was something that happened, it would definitely stick out in his mind. Okay. What that gave me is, I love my daughter, but I ain't going down for this. I'm not participating in this. So I'm not just going to call her no lie. I'm just going to say I don't remember it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to embarrass her and call out no flat out lie because that's my daughter and I love her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to say I don't remember, and it will stick out in my mind. You take what you want to do with it, but I love my daughter and I'm just not going to call her no lie. You know what I'm saying? So NBC noticed the contradictions, and they brought them up doing the follow-up interview with her on Friday, because I'm pretty sure they did the interview earlier during the week, but the interview was just going to happen on Friday. But before they aired it and noticed the contradictions, they wanted to get her word before they just go out and tell her, look, we found contradictions, and not giving her a chance to respond. She said that she stood by her statement. She said that she had made some mistakes, but honestly, what is the clearest to her is what happened to her. Okay. Soon as the interview aired, Jay-Z responded and said that this incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. Now, Jay-Z is saying Jay-Z is talking about he filed it in court. He's talking about Tony Buzzbee, okay? Now, according to Jay-Z's attorneys, Buzzbee began to walk back his complaint he put his name to, excusing the inconsistencies by pointing the finger at the case being referred to them by another firm who allegedly vetted the story before sending it to them.
I don't know. Take what you want from that. That's what he said.
Okay. Jay-Z's lawyers is now asking, they have now filed a motion to have the case dismissed as soon as possible. Okay. Now, Diddy's lawyers are saying for the second time this week, a Buzzbee plaintiff has been exposed. This is the beginning of the end of a money grab. Okay. But the engagement, so this didn't, it's very likely that this didn't happen. And what is shocking is that the engagement is not the same. Okay. When it was named that Jay-Z was in this lawsuit, everybody and their mama was tweeting about it. They was talking about it online. They was talking about it on Instagram. Everywhere you could look, people was making videos about it. Okay. Shout out to Red Media. They made this post on Twitter that I saw. It said, did you notice the difference in engagement? The first one garnered 100K likes in 3 hours. The second one is still struggling to reach 2K likes after 11 hours because it does not suit their agenda. Okay. And just like Charlamagne always say, who cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining? Okay. This is why I prefer to use the word accusers instead of victim, because in my view, language matters. I don't believe that someone is a victim until a judge has made a ruling. And then sometimes that's not even the case. Okay. In today's world, people often try to convict others in the court of public opinion using the word victim to fit their own narrative. But the real question, who is the actual victim in situations like these? It seems to me that Jay-Z is the one who is being wronged here. Buzzbee and the accusers appeared to be seeking a money grab, and that's just the bottom line. Nothing in this case makes sense. Buzzbee didn't vet the story. It's crazy that NBC had to vet the story, and now all of the inconsistencies pop up. And literally, Buzzbee at the beginning of the week was doubling down. He was talking big SHI. Okay, he was talking big SHI like he just had something going on. And my thing with Buzzbee, and I'm not trying to be funny, but you couldn't even you couldn't even get nobody that seemed to be in their right mind. Because it's more than, I feel like it's more than autism going on. That's just what she said. I'm not even trying to be funny. All she said was that she had autism or whatever, but I mean, she seems to be a liar already. It's probably something else going on. We probably see, it's probably some, okay. But it was reported that last month, Jay-Z filed a lawsuit against Buzzbee for extortion, only identifying himself as a celebrity John Doe in the complaint to avoid attracting negative publicity. And even though Jay-Z filed the lawsuit anonymously to shield himself from the negative publicity, it was still made public and his name was attached to it. The language used in the coverage labeled the accusers as victim, which appeared to be done maliciously to tarnish his reputation. Exactly what Buzzbee seemed to be aiming for from the start. Okay. Accusations like these are very serious, y'all. And people need to understand that they're playing with other people's livelihoods. These kind of accusations don't just disappear, they have lasting consequences. I've seen tweets online and comments from people who are determined to believe that Jay-Z is guilty, saying that we haven't proven that Jay-Z didn't do it. But my question is, has it ever been proven that any of this happened in the first place? It was never proven. Somebody made an accusation, sure, but it was never proven that any of this happened. And it's very unlikely that it never happened. Okay? I believe that Buzzbee was planning and waiting to amend the lawsuit again, possibly to add the identity of Celebrity B, because initially in the documents in October, it just named Diddy alone and Celebrity A and Celebrity B. When they amended the lawsuit on last Sunday, it was now Diddy, Jay-Z as Celebrity A, and Celebrity B wasn't named. All we know that it was the female celebrity that was in the room that she allegedly knew as soon as she saw the person. Okay. I'm actually surprised that Chloe didn't ask the accuser during the interview who was Celebrity B and how come she hadn't named her yet. But I'm pretty sure most people suspect that it's either Jay-Z or Beyonce. If any of this ever happened, which is highly unlikely, it would only make sense for it to be Jennifer Lopez, because on the night in question, Beyonce was actually at a party thrown by Tommy Mottola along with her mother and other members of Destiny's Child at a restaurant called Moomba. And her and Jay weren't even together at the time. And if they were, they wasn't together publicly. Jennifer Lopez was actually with Jay-Z the night in question, but until she was named in a lawsuit, I don't think it would have been wise for her to come out and speak out against it, because she would have subjected herself to negative publicity and public scrutiny, which is why when the initial claims that Buzzbee was making against Jay-Z trying to extort him, he tried to file the lawsuit against him as a John Doe, because he didn't want the negative publicity and the scrutiny, because he knows the lasting effects that these accusations can have on you. And if Jennifer Lopez would have came out and spoke out against this, she would have been ripped to shreds, and her name would have been tarnished forever by this. Okay. I do think that Jennifer Lopez probably would have testified on behalf of Diddy if the case ever made it to trial, since she was seen going to his home with him alone that night around 3 a.m. But It was not an exclusive mansion the way the victim claimed it was. He was just living in a townhouse. I think that Jennifer did the smart thing by staying silent publicly until court or until she was named. Because given how committed people are to believing these accusations, anything she said would have been twisted into victim shaming, and she would have faced all type of backlash and scrutiny. She would have. That's the truth. Look at the way y'all did Kalina Harper, and because Kalina Harper spoke out against what happened with Dawn. You know what I'm saying? Dawn named Kalina in her lawsuit. Kalina said that she couldn't verify the stories, and she was all type of crackheads. You know what I'm saying? Drug heads, haters, all this type of stuff. And because she spoke out against Diddy's, which was her truth, she could tell you what she saw that happened. But it's crazy how this girl, now we want to believe this girl that we never seen before, who got all kind of issues going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just very hypocritical. But focusing back to Jay-Z, I think that the damage is already done. The accusations and the language used will forever linger, which is exactly the point of him filing the lawsuit anonymously in the first place, because he knew that his reputation would take a hit and he was trying to avoid that kind of fallout. I've already seen think pieces online that Buzzbee was paid off, the Accuser was paid off, NBC was paid off, Chloe was paid off, and I've even seen people reach as far as to say that Diddy and Jay-Z paid the Accuser to go on and do that type of interview to have the rest of the cases dismissed, which is crazy. Now, is Jay-Z perfect? No, far from it. However, he was able to use the cards that he was dealt and make something of himself. And you may not agree with his choices or the path that he's taken, and you may even want to see him fail, but that doesn't mean that he should be convicted for something that he didn't do just because somebody made an accusation. If he's going to be convicted of something, at least let it be something that's real, y'all. But that's all I got right now. I'm pretty sure that the case probably is going to be thrown out sometime this week. Jay-Z lawyers actually said that, to keep this any further, to keep this case on and not throwing this case out only tarnishes Jay-Z, his brand, his family, everything that has to do with Jay-Z. This case is most likely a farce. And I told y'all before, it's not to say I told you so. The Buzzbee had a little bit too much chip on his dip. You know what I'm saying? And it's more than likely a lot of these cases that Buzzbee got against Diddy, because he was the one who had the hotline. He was the one who claimed that he had 125 cases and 25 of them was minors and stuff like that. And people just believed it. You know what I'm saying? We hadn't seen anybody. We hadn't seen anything. I feel like it was a money grab. You know what I'm saying? It was too much chip on the dip. Is Diddy probably guilty of something? Sure. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, we saw with our own eyes that he abused Cassie physically, But these other cases that Buzzbee got, I think that they're all about to be thrown out. It's a sham. And it's so crazy. I think that I'm actually glad that Jay-Z stood up, because I feel like maybe a lot of other people who was actually innocent just paid Buzzbee off to keep from the public, to keep it from going public. Even though it was false, people who haven't did crimes pay people all the time to just save themselves from the public scrutiny. You know what I'm saying? Or the public shame. But I feel like if Jay-Z, a person of Jay-Z's status, can get accused of something, or somebody can make accusations against him, and people just believe it without any evidence or any proof, then the rest of us don't got a chance. And I think that in this case, it's actually good, because there are pictures of Jay-Z and Diddy at a nightclub that night. It was not a house that they claimed that it was. It was a party. And from the pictures, we never seen Jay-Z. It seemed, from the pictures and from what I've seen online, it seemed like Diddy was in his own section and Jay-Z was in the club, but they were never together that night. You know what I'm saying? So it's very unlikely that this ever happened. I think that the cases that Buzzbee filed are going to be thrown up. He may even be disbarred. There is no way that he should have filed this case. And what is shocking to me is that he has so much chip on his dip when Jay-Z responded back. It's crazy. But y'all drop in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. Do you think that this was tarnished Jay-Z's brand? Do y'all still believe the accuser? What do y'all think about Buzzbee? Let me know, and I'll see y'all later. Adios.